There comes a strange phase in life where nothing feels the same anymore. The people you once laughed with start to feel distant, the places that once felt like home begin to feel unfamiliar. You try to hold on to it, to go back to how things were, but something inside you refuses. And that's when you realize, this isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. You're not losing your life, you're outgrowing it. At first, you blame yourself. You think maybe you've changed too much, maybe you're the problem. But deep down, there's a quiet knowing that whispers, this was always meant to happen. The comfort you once had was never meant to be permanent. It was just a chapter, not the whole story. You begin to notice how forced everything feels now. Smiles don't come naturally. Conversations feel heavy. Even laughter feels like an effort. And in those silent moments, you realize something powerful, you're no longer who you used to be. No one talks about this part, the quiet transformation. There's no big ending, no clear goodbye, just a slow disconnection from everything that once defined you. You start thinking differently, feeling differently. Things that once mattered now feel meaningless, and you don't even know when it changed. You try to explain it to others, but the words don't come out right. They don't see what you're feeling, and maybe they're not meant to. This journey was never meant to be understood by everyone, only experienced by you. And in this silence, something inside you begins to grow. It's not loud, it's not visible, but it's real. A new version of you is slowly taking shape, hidden beneath the confusion. One of the hardest truths to accept is that not everyone is meant to grow with you. Some people were only a part of your past, not your future. And no matter how much you care about them, you can feel the distance growing. Conversations become shorter. The connection feels weaker. You sit with them, but your mind feels somewhere else. It's not that you don't love them anymore, it's just that you're no longer the same person who once needed them in the same way. This realization hurts. Because growth doesn't just change you, it changes your relationships too. And sometimes, the price of becoming yourself is letting go of people who once felt like home. There was a time when someone meant everything to you. You shared your thoughts, your laughter, your silence. It felt real, like something that would last forever. But slowly, things changed. Not suddenly, just quietly. One day, you realized the connection wasn't the same anymore. The effort felt one-sided. The understanding faded. And even though nothing big happened, everything felt different. You tried to hold on. You gave more, stayed longer, hoped harder. But deep inside, you knew, it was already over. Not because of anger, not because of hate, but because you had both grown in different directions. And the hardest part wasn't losing them, it was accepting that some people are only meant to be a chapter, not your whole story. At some point, you stop recognizing yourself. The things you once loved don't excite you anymore. The habits you had start to feel meaningless. It's like your old identity is slowly breaking apart. This can feel scary. Because if you're not who you used to be, then who are you? The answers don't come immediately. And that uncertainty makes everything feel unstable. But this is where real transformation begins. Not in knowing who you are, but in letting go of who you're not. The confusion isn't a problem, it's a sign that something deeper is changing within you. Growth can be incredibly lonely. Not because no one is around, but because no one truly understands what you're going through. You feel disconnected even in a crowded room. You start enjoying your own company more. Silence becomes comforting instead of scary. And slowly, you begin to realize that being alone doesn't mean being empty. There's a difference between loneliness and solitude. One drains you, the other rebuilds you. And right now, you're learning how to sit with yourself, without needing distractions. Something starts to shift inside you. Your awareness grows. You begin to notice patterns, emotions, and thoughts more clearly. It's like you're finally seeing things for what they really are. You stop reacting the same way. You stop chasing what once consumed you. And instead, you start observing, understanding, evolving. This awakening isn't loud. It's quiet, deep, and personal. And even though others might not see it, you feel it in every part of your being. There was a moment when everything felt completely lost. Nothing made sense. You felt disconnected from everyone, even yourself. It was one of the lowest points of your life. But in that silence, something unexpected happened. You stopped looking for answers outside. You stopped chasing people, validation, distractions. And for the first time, you sat with yourself. Days passed. Then weeks. And slowly, you began to understand your own thoughts, your own emotions. You realized that everything you were searching for was already within you. That moment didn't change your life instantly. But it changed you. And that was enough to begin everything again, differently this time. You start to understand that not everything is meant to be controlled. Some things are meant to fall apart, so better things can come together. You stop forcing connections. You stop chasing outcomes. And instead, you begin to trust the process, even when it doesn't make sense. This doesn't mean you don't care anymore. It means you've learned that peace is more important than control. And sometimes, letting go is the most powerful thing you can do. At the end of all this, you realize something beautiful: you didn't lose everything. You just made space for something real. The person you're becoming is stronger, calmer, and more aware. You no longer seek validation the same way. You no longer depend on things that once defined you. And even though the journey cost you comfort, familiarity, and people, it gave you something priceless: yourself.